How's it going, everyone? It's Kenny again, doing another benchmark with the RTX 4080. And we're going to be doing a little bit of Red Dead. This time we're doing it at 3840 by 1600. Had a request for this one, so we're going to do another ultra wide benchmark. So just showing you guys real quick the 5900X and then running the RTX 4080 all stock. And then we'll go through the settings real quick. Show you guys what we got going on here. So we're at 3840 by 1600. I'll go ahead and change this to full screen. And basically everything's set to ultra, so just run through it really quick. I think I'm gonna have a couple things turned up a little higher. No DLSS, no FSR. We might try DLSS really quick. We'll see how this goes. DirectX 12. Everything else is basically maxed out. Water physics is just left alone. We could definitely mess with that a little bit more too. And then reflection MSIA is ×8. So we're just gonna do a couple minutes of gameplay really quick, and then we'll do the in-game benchmark as well. So so you can see here, just outside of Valentine, we're getting in the 70s. It does pretty good. We're at 97-98% usage, so I think this is pretty good. RTX 4080 does pretty good. It's kind of crazy how demanding this game is, and it's a beautiful game too. Definitely one of my favorites, and it's a good one for benchmarking too. Especially at these higher resolutions, it can really be taxing even with a 4080. So as you can see here in this open area, we're getting up in the high 70s. We'll go into Valentine really quick and walk around. Yeah, I have a super high bounty, so I'm gonna try not to cause any trouble. I don't know, we might be running here in a minute. Let's see. I'm trying to make it through town without getting shot at. So as you can see here, we're dropping into the high 60s, riding through Valentine. Oh man, I don't know. I think as soon as these sheriffs up here see me, I'm gonna be in big trouble. But we're getting 72 FPS, not too bad. Kind of want to get through here a little quicker. All right. So yeah, more than playable. Maxed out settings. Getting high 60s, low 70s. Just pretty good. Nice and smooth. Let's go ahead and jump into the in-game benchmark real quick. See how this does on average. And there might be a couple things we can turn up. I know personally I like to mess around with the MSAA and see what kind of difference that makes. I know it's definitely a killer on performance, and but we could also see what DLSS does. I feel like with our GPU usage at around 97-98, DLSS might give us a little bit before we start getting a CPU bottleneck, but we'll find out here after this benchmark. But just like you saw in Valentine's there, we're probably going to be in the high 60s, low 70s on average. I have the RTX Supreme X 4080 from MSI, and it runs so cool. It does really good. I think for the most part, below 50 in almost every game. Like right here, we're at 46C. Well, we might see 46, 47C, but it does pretty good even when overclocked. I haven't messed around with overclocking in Red Dead yet, only because when I play, usually I actually run the hardware unboxed settings, but with a couple things turned up a little bit higher. So my goal is I run at 3440 by 1440 ultra wide. So my goal is around 120 FPS, and I'm usually averaging between 120 and 140 without DLSS or overclocking. So for me, at least with the that resolution and those settings, having DLSS or overclocking, I just don't need to do it, which is cool. I think we might even see high 70s as our average because we do hit 80 a couple times. It's not too bad. We're creeping up on 4K resolution with the 3840 by 1600 ultra wide. That does pretty good. Probably do another quick comparison video doing 4K as well to see how it does. In that situation, I think that running DLSS and also overclocking could do a little bit of help, especially if you have everything maxed out. But I think I'll make another video soon on 4K and see what happens. Another shot of Valentine. Getting basically exactly the same what we got riding through low 70s. You can see CPU usage, even with the 5900X, still getting up there quite a bit. This 4080 is definitely fast. It's definitely in quite a few games. It definitely puts the 5900X to the test, at least at these ultra wide resolutions. At 4K, it actually does good. I think it's actually a really good match at 4K. But you can see here we're 96, 97% usage, which is pretty decent. But you can tell we've got a small CPU bottleneck, which, personally at, above 60, but we're in the 70 FPS range. I don't think it really matters that much. If we got 80 FPS, I don't think it would change anything. I feel like once you get up like 90 FPS or more, a couple FPS here and there doesn't really matter too much. Of course, when you're down in the 30s, every FPS matters. Like if you can squeak 2 or 3 out, it could be the difference of having some terrible stutters and lows. So I'm definitely gonna have to mess around with 4K and Red Dead and see how this thing does. I like this in-game benchmark. It's almost always just a little bit different. This shootout always turned out a little bit different. What are you doing, Arthur? You're just hanging out there. That horse kind of just looks like it gave up. Alright, this benchmark's about over. Let's see what happens. Yeah, 99% there for a second. Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to be in the mid 70s. Yep, 75. Okay, so let's back out of here really quick and see what other settings we can mess with. We could try DLSS really quick in game and see if it makes any kind of difference. Let's check it out. See what happens. So here we're getting low 70s, high 60s. let's see what happens when we turn on DLSS just for fun. We're going to put that on quality. Alright. Let's see what happens. So that was actually a decent gain. So we went from, 69, 70 to mid 80s. So that was absolutely worth doing DLSS. That was actually a pretty good change. If I was running 3840 by 1600 all the time, I might run DLSS. If you get an extra 10 FPS, that's substantial. I think that would definitely be worth it. Alright, that's just a quick test, but let's go back really quick and look at what can we do to push this a little harder. So let's turn DLSS off again. So that's on high. Let's see what happens. I know some people like to use MSAA, some people don't because it's a killer. It does make a small change on the look of the game, but we're just gonna max everything out just for fun before I end this video and see what happens. Turn that crap off. I kind of forgot about motion blur. Okay, I don't think we can turn anything up any higher at this resolution. So let's see how much of a killer this is. Man, it sure does look sharper. It actually does look quite a bit better with MSAA turned up all the way, but man, look at that performance. It just like cut it in half or less. But it sure does look good. I mean, might be a cool idea for pictures. When you turn it up, it definitely looks amazing, but it's totally not playable. Definitely putting the GPU to work though. But I'm gonna turn that off because that sucks. Alright. Get back to normal here. So everything else is still maxed out, just without the MSAA. So we're back up into the 70s. And the game still looks great. Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it for there. I think you guys get a pretty good general idea. You want to max this game out at 3840 by 1600 ultra wide. And of course you can always mess with settings and get a little bit more performance. But your baseline, if you're looking to get a 4080 and you love playing Red Dead at that big ultra wide, you're going to be just fine. 60 plus all the time. It's going to do really good. I think I'm going to call it there, guys. Thanks for watching.